Hello everyone, I'm Dan Neckar with the Pointer Student Newspaper, and I'm here with State Senator Julie Lassa. And we just wrapped up after the hearing. It was a long day, and I'm fortunate enough to get to ask her a couple questions. I just wanted to ask, first of all, what did you think of the overall turnout and the tone of the people who spoke?
Well, I think that we had excellent turnout. I was so glad to see so many people from Central Wisconsin be able to come to the Joint Finance Committee hearing and be able to give their thoughts on Governor Walker's biennial budget. It really does set the priorities for the state for the next 2 years and beyond. And that's why I'm so glad that so many people from Stevens Point and the surrounding area were able to come and express their viewpoints.
Okay. There's been a lot of talk about breaking up the UW system, separating Madison, breaking up the whole thing. How do you think that's going to affect the quality of education at universities like UW-SP, UW-La Crosse, UW-Milwaukee? How do you think that's going to adjust the quality of education?
Well, I don't believe that breaking up the UW system is going to be helpful for the state at all. I think that what it will do is really set up where students of middle-income families and lower-income families will no longer be able to go to Madison. That you'll see dramatic increases in tuition, and it will really degrade the quality of education and the cooperation that we see not only with UW-Madison and UW-Stevens Point, but with the other comprehensives in the state as well. We know that UW-Madison, UW-SP give joint higher ed degrees in a number of different programs, and I'm really concerned because there have been instances in the past where UW-SP has been working with UW-Madison, and Madison has tried to take the grant money from the UW-SP side in order to fund their own programs or use it as the lapse that they were supposed to turn back to the state. So I'm just really concerned that if we allow the system to be divided as what the UW-Madison Chancellor is proposing, that it is going to be detrimental to the comprehensive campuses and the students going here, and it's not going to help the students at UW-Madison either.
Okay. Senator Glenn Grothman made a comment recently that the students who are studying natural resources at universities like this are out of touch. How would you respond to something like that?
Well, I just think that's laughable. And I mean, Glenn is the same person who called, the protesters in Madison slobs and really denigrated, the people from the state of Wisconsin who were expressing their viewpoint about the budget repair bill and what was happening. And I just think that what he said is just totally out of touch, because the folks here at UW-Stevens Point in the College of Natural Resources, it's recognized as the best, College of Natural Resources anywhere in the United States. And I think we have a lot to be proud of, and he should really apologize to folks. But knowing that it is Senator Grothman, I really don't hold out very much hope for that. And people just have to realize that, he's the same person who was calling working people slobs.
Okay. Now, right now, the budget repair bill is still in the courts, correct?
Right. The half of it is the piece that stripped out the collective bargaining. That is still in the courts. There's a temporary restraining order that's in place.
So what, just from your experience, what are you expecting to turn out from all of that, from what's happening in the courts?
Sure. Well, what I would anticipate, and there have already been a number of court cases filed, both at the state as well as I would anticipate at the federal level, challenging the legal actions not only of the process of how the proposal became law, or maybe not law, given the violation of open meetings law. But the fact is, I think, that proposal is going to be hung up in the courts for a long time to come. both at the state and at the federal level.
How would you judge the amount of student involvement and the voice you heard from the students today and over the last couple of months in this university?
Well, I think, I really have to take my hat off to the students here at UWSP. I know that they were very active in the rallies, not only in Madison, but also here in this community in the central Wisconsin area. I have been hearing from students about their opposition to the budget repair bill, as well as their concerns about this new two-year budget. And I really have to give them a lot of credit for being active and having their voice heard. And I just hope that that will continue. And that in the end will really prevail, because the cuts that are being proposed in Governor Walker's budget to education at every level, whether it's K through 12 or at the university or in the technical colleges, will not only be detrimental in the immediate future, but long term. I mean, we're really going to be watering down the quality of education at every level in the state of Wisconsin. And we need to be able to compete globally. And that's not what China and India and these other countries are doing. They're actually investing in their education system, not cutting it.
Okay, and the last thing I wanted to ask, when you were in Illinois with a number of the other senators, what was the day-to-day life like? I mean, it was a few weeks, if I remember correctly. So just the day-to-day life of anything from food to sleep, hygiene, to staying in touch with family. What was the daily grind like?
Sure. Well, I think it was really important. I mean, Republicans tried to say it was a vacation, but we worked so hard in terms of keeping in contact with constituents. I talked to a number of local officials, as well as had a number of telephone conferences with constituents back in the district. And we were serious about our attempts to try to negotiate and come up with a compromise in that budget repair bill. And was really disappointing that it wasn't until the very end that Governor Walker was willing to talk to us. And our Senate Republican colleagues, their leadership was telling us, well, we can't negotiate with you. You have to negotiate with the governor. Any changes have to be okay by him. And for them to secede their authority and their ability to make changes to that proposal was really disappointing. But the day-to-day was a lot of work. It was just like we were back here in Wisconsin talking to constituents, talking to the press and the media, and of course talking to our families and making sure that they were doing okay. Because we did, I think, the Republicans talked a lot about death threats and things like that. But I know that I received threats. A lot of my Senate Democratic colleagues did as well. We asked, I asked the local chief of police, Chief Reuter, to boost the trips around the neighborhood just to make sure that everything was okay with my family. But it was really difficult. But I think, what we were able to do was to give the people of the state of Wisconsin more time to really look at what was in that budget repair bill, to understand it, and to have their voice heard, whether if it was in support or in opposition. And I think that is the greatest thing that we achieved, is that people are now paying more attention to what's going on in Madison, and they want to have more of a voice in their state government. And I think that is important.
Okay, I want to thank you very much, Senator Lassa. I'm Dan Neckar with the Pointer Student Newspaper. I want to let everyone know that they can find more videos on our website and stay in tune with us to keep current with events on campus. Thank you again.
Thank you.